Hey, yo, what's up? This disciple Marcello Kearns Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-Freemason all day, anti-gang stalker all day. So this video is going to be uh, Black power or authority cannot rule because of black on black killings and the lack of chastisement for black on black killings. Black power cannot rule as of 2023 because of the lack of chastisement concerning black on black killings and black on black killings as an actuality. How can you rule when you have the worst problem in America? You bring the worst problem to the community, which is the killings, the murders. It's the worst problem in the community because see, I peep how you move. I peep how you moving. You're moving in a secretive, conspiracy like way in these wars. And in some way, what I think is you think you can rule, or you're going to rule, and you're not going to rule. So you can come on out the dark, so I can talk to you. The reason why you can't rule is because you got black on black killing everywhere, all across the country. And the main reason you can't rule is because your leaders have not chastised you properly for this. So how could we trust them to rule when they can't chastise their own people in the time frame that they need to chastise them? We don't need it to take a million years. Okay, when is it going to happen? When is the correction going to come? So because it's a bias also that stops you from ruling too. You can't be biased in ruling because we can't trust you, just like we couldn't trust white people. We can't trust white people because they ruling in a biased way, right or wrong. You have the same pattern in the black community for why we can't let that the white people got forward, and that's why we can't let you rule. That's why God is not going to let you rule because you are biased towards your own community, which you can't be like that and be a leader. You can't be a leader being biased towards your own people. Think about it. How can you rule when you are biased towards your own people and you do not correct them thoroughly? Do better is not correcting black people. Do better is not the proper correction and chastisement. The proper correction and chastisement is all the people of your community with influence chastising thoroughly those who have brought shame or and death to your community. And until you do this, you cannot, and you practice this as a lifestyle, correcting your own children, meaning your community, until you correct your own children, how can you help and raise other people's children? It all starts at home. So all you have is a whole bunch of people that are are biased, that are clicked up together. That's all you have, and you call that black love. I call it clicked up together. That's what I call it. I call it clicked up together. It ain't black love because look at all the black on black killing. So how is it? So how is it love? What it is it's clicked up together. That's what it is. It's conveniently clicked up together. That's what we got going on. That's what it is. If it was love, then why you got all the killing then? Okay, so you can't hold everybody to a standard that you don't live. If you want people to love you, you have to first love yourself and be an example of how you love yourselves and treat each other. Because what most people gonna holler out is, well, we ain't doing nothing differently than what y'all doing to yourselves. If you talk about racist people, I mean, racism is not worse than black on black crime. Racism is not worse. So how can you rule? It's a fantasy. It's like a Black Panther fantasy, bro. You cannot rule unless you will first properly chastise your own community. What would that be like? Okay, you rule, but you ain't telling nobody what to do. You ain't correcting nobody when they wrong. You're not chastising your own people. So what we'll have is rule and more chaos. Black rule with more chaos. That's what we'll have. And that's out of the question. That's out of the question. So black rule is a fantasy. It's a fantasy. And throughout history, people made many fantasies, false gods, and all type of things. It's an imaginary creation, okay? Where you think you're going to rule, but when I show you in reality that you have too much black on black killing to rule, now you understand what I'm trying to say. How can you rule as a thorough community without corruption, right? Because corruption would be not chastising the people and you're ruling. If they're killing people and you're not chastising them, that's a form of corruption. You can't go into, here's the next thing. You can't go into rule with street policies and no snitch policies. Boom, ow, that's a 7. How you gonna go and be in rulers when y'all got the whole snitch policy culture? You got to get out of that. I had to get out of it. In order to be a real ruler, it's no way you can have a no snitch policy over a government. And you have a policy where you don't talk about the killings of innocent children in your own community. You have a policy where you don't talk about the killings of innocent people, and then you think you can rule with that no policy culture that has influenced many hordes, many of the people in your community. You're not fit to rule. You got a lot of money, but you're not fit to rule. And that's the difference. That's the difference between being rich and being a king and being a queen. It's how thorough you are with chastising your people and progressing the people. If you're going to be a king and queen, you have to be a progressor. You can't just sit up and get catered to and have money, and that doesn't make you a king or queen. To be a real king or queen, a real one. I'm not talking about a cultural king or a cultural queen. I'm not talking about cultural kings and queens. I'm talking about a real king and queen. In order to be that, you have to progress the people. And not just culturally, not just with fashion, not just with the arts. You have to progress more than your culture. You have to progress all the ethnicities that are here in America. Now you see the job that got to be done. That's not just progressing black people. A real king or queen that is in rule over a nation has to progress the entire community. Therefore, you have to have a perspective and be good with this perspective of progressing, that a perspective that progresses the people. Able to see all ethnicities, able to see all issues, and are able to progress the community as a whole, not just as one ethnicity. See, so that's the other thing. If you get anybody that's going to rule, they're going to be all for one side. They're going to be biased. They're going to have that same biased mentality. And that's no way you can rule. Let's put it like this. It won't be God ordained. It won't be God ordained because God sees that you talk about police killings. You talk about police killings, but you do not talk about the black on black crime, and you think nobody don't see that. You don't talk about it. You're like a kid hiding under a blanket. You can't see me. You can't see me. We can clearly see you right there killing each other. We can clearly see you doing that. And it's not, as of now, going anywhere. But yet you think you're going to rule. See, that's an imaginary perspective, bro. You couldn't in reality because you're not chastising a whole community who is clearly out of control. They're out of control. I know it might seem quiet outside. It might seem quiet around your way, but they're out of control. It's chaos. When you got all this killing everywhere. You got killing everywhere. That's out of control. That's chaos. Last time I checked, it was the biggest problem as far as killing in the whole nation. Now, how you ready to rule? You're not ready now. We're talking about now. I'm ready now. And you're not. So how can you compare yourself to me? See, see, this is what you don't want to accept. This is what you want to accept. In order to be in rule right now, you can't be a part of America. Because there's problems in all of it. In order for you to be a real solution and really be not part of the problem, you can't be a part of it. You can't be, because the whole thing is a problem. So how can you be part of it? That means you're part of the problem. In order for a real solution to come along, it would have to be someone that's totally separate from it, which is me. I'm totally separate from it. And thank you, because your rejection calls to me to prove my blackness on my own. My rejection, the rejection that you gave me, made me prove my blackness on my own. I couldn't rely on the culture like many people do. You can hide behind music, hide behind clothes. I couldn't hide behind none of that. I proved my blackness from my soul. I proved my blackness from my life, from my actions, my habits, my thought process. I proved it from all of that. I didn't have the culture. I didn't have people to lean on. I didn't have nobody to lean on to make me look black. Boom, Al, that's a 7. Yeah, you got people around you to make you look black. I didn't. So what you got to understand is, whether you think I'm being biased or not, hateful or not, loving or not, whatever you may think, the bottom line is the facts are you're not fit to rule right now, collectively speaking. So we got to get that out the way. It's not saying you can't, you're the enemy per se. You're just not fit to rule, and you think you are. You think money means you're fit to rule, and it doesn't. White people got money. They fit to rule right now with 43 states of child marriage. That's what they did. White people put child marriage all in the country. They got plenty of money. Are they fit to rule? They're not fit to rule when they got 43 states of child marriage. They passed their last child marriage law under the Trump administration 3 years ago. That's when they passed their last child marriage law. That's the last child marriage law in America passed under the Trump administration. Child marriage under the administration of Trump now in its present time. Now you see what we're dealing with. A new law passed under this times and day. In the times that you live in right now, child marriage has been made in the time frame that you're in now. Someone was thinking about it now. Okay? Now, right now. They was thinking about child marriage now. Okay? That's why they're not fit to rule. Because I know that was white people. Hispanics didn't do it. Latinos didn't do it. Asians didn't do it. So who did it then? We know culturally speaking, their cultures are too family oriented. Hispanics and Latinos didn't make these laws. You can't blame them for that. See, this is what makes me a proper judge. I put the blame where the blame belongs. If it's white people, I'm putting it there. If it's black people, I'm putting it there. If it's Hispanics, Latinos, I'm putting it there. You can't blame Hispanics and Latinos for child marriage laws. That's ridiculous. Family oriented as they are, that's ridiculous for you to even think that. So they didn't do it. Asian people, that's pretty ridiculous. They're not even into politics really. So it wasn't them either. It wasn't people from India. It wasn't the Native Americans. So who is it then that passed these child marriage laws? It was the white tribe that passed it. Okay? So that makes them unfit to rule. This is why you have to go my way. I know you have to. You don't want to, but you have to. Okay? Listen. They can't rule anymore. You are trying to fight them by just going head to head with them with black issues. It ain't going to work. Because you know how they're going to beat you. I just told you that in the last video. I just told you this in the last video. Just entitlement. Justly just entitlement. Their families working and making all these corporations. They can pay you off, but you won't get the empires, which mean they'll still be there. So how you going to get past that? You ain't got nobody who got enough money ever to do that. Ever. Ever. Because with time, obviously comes power and influence. That power is going to be protected. The power of the families, not just the money. Now you see what I'm saying? Their position, all of that, all protected. And you're not going to move it. So how can you defeat that? Not saying you want to defeat the white people. You want to defeat a system that has not been just towards you. That has not been just towards the community. So how do we defeat a system that has not been just towards everyone? Right? We defeat it with this 43 states of child marriage. Yeah, this is how we do it. The most unlikely weapon in real strategy and war, Sun Tzu would give me a salute. You're missing it. You're missing it. You're looking for different styles of fighting. You're looking for this purge meets, this purge meets Avenger type situation where we're fighting and all of this, and you're looking for this end game kind of situation, bro. It didn't work like that. This is war. It's by any means possible. And this is what we have. We have 43 states of child marriage. Nobody, once this information gets out, your job as a community is to spread this information on Facebook. I'm doing it every day. I'm not telling you to do something I don't do. I am doing it every day, right? Okay? So it's every day that I do it. It's almost every day if it's not every day. Every day, listen, every day I'm doing it. And I'm on there saying 40. When you have ads on your Facebook timeline, irrelevant ads of whatever, credit card ads, and the little pop-up ads that come on your Facebook timeline, you can go in the comments section and put 43 states of child marriage. America has 43 states of child marriage. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to put. Boom. Copy that and paste it on different comments, on different ads or different posts that's on your Facebook timeline that's sponsored on there. That's just irrelevant stuff. Just post it on there. That's one of my strategies. And you will be amazed at how many people thank you for this information. This is how I'm hitting them. This is how I'm hitting them. I'm not playing. And it's getting out there. Now that's changing. I've been doing that for months. And the information is still on the ads. Sometimes people come and talk about it months later. What I put on the ad of 43 states of child marriage, the comment that I put on these posts. So you got to put it in the work. Okay, this is how this is going to happen. If you don't do it, we still going to do it. God's going to do it because it's a spiritual work that's going to get done because of them doing it anyway. It's a spiritual work that's going to get done anyway. It's going to get done anyway. Listen, you can sit back and be mad at me. You can be mad at what's going on. It's going to get done anyway. I'm just showing you how you can be free. You don't have to be free. You don't have to catch the cruise. We can pull off without you. We can pull right off without you. It's all up to you. This is the only way, bro, because there's no way going ahead with the time frame of craziness that we're dealing with COVID-19. You're going to have some black group bring you out of COVID-19 and bring everybody out the ghetto. It's too short of a time frame. You don't have time anymore. Don't you see that? The only time frame you have right now, think about what I just said. The only time frame you have right now is enough to spread this information on child marriage, collapse this community, and so we can get this system out the way and start something else. That's the only, and with COVID-19 being here, it's a perfect time to do it. Everybody wants a fresh start. It's time. It's the perfect time because it's already a changing of the era because of COVID-19. It's a changing of the era. So right along with that, we collapse this system with this bad situation that's going on. We go ahead and add this to it. of this 43 states with child marriage. We add this to it, boom, we collapse this situation. And it's over with. All that now the white families have to come and renegotiate their position in America, because now they have been a part of a system that has 43 states of child marriage, and no one wants to obey it. To avoid anarchy in a lawless community, when they find out this information, instead of doing that, start a new system where everyone collectively rules, not just black people or white people. Black people and white people cannot rule in this country. White people have already proved to be incompetent. Black people are incompetent because of the as far as rule, as far as the black on black crime. That's what makes them incompetent, because they have not corrected their own people. They have not. So how can they properly rule? We can't trust that. Just like we couldn't trust white people in power with handling of the white community. You look how they handled the white community when the white community was doing things. Nothing was done. They were biased about it. So if you get black people in rule, what they gonna do all throughout the country? Be biased about everything that's done that black people doing. And they already crazy, so you know something gonna be done. And if we let them rule, they're gonna be biased about what their own people are doing, just like they are now. Now you see the situation for what it really is. Now I'm showing you in real time, because you've been in fantasy. I'm showing you now in real time. I'm showing you now in real time what it'll be like. That's what it will be like. People sitting up ruling and eating chicken, and I'm not being racist when I say that. I'm being cultural. Understand the difference. I'm being cultural when I say that. Sitting around eating chicken, not handling business, letting people do what they do all out here in this country. We can't allow that. White people are already doing that. White people are already doing it. They're sitting around eating whatever they eat, sitting around not doing anything about what these white people in power in their country are doing and what the streets are doing. They're white people. They don't handle these white militias. Do you see them handling these white militias? They're not handling the white militias, are they? Okay, you see what happened to the NFC NFC militia by Jam Master Jay. He was the leader of the black militia called NFC. Okay, now that militia was followed and all of this, and they was watching. They was watching. He wound up getting locked up and everything. We find out they got all kind of white militias that we didn't even know about. Boogaloo, Proud Boys, you didn't know nothing about that. Neither did I. Okay, and so that's because white people they just allow it to be. Gang stalking. Gang stalking in America is a white issue. It may be black people in it and other races in it, but white boys started that. Because white people ruled this country, this is a perfect example. They're just letting it be. They're biased towards it. Now let black people or Arab people do the same kind of thing, gang stalking here in America. You don't think they would stop Arab people from gang stalking? You gotta be kidding me. If there were Arab people, Arab Muslims, gang stalking, riding around, watching people, stalking people, you don't think the American government and community would get rid of that? Of course they would. But what they telling you, we can't do nothing about it. That's a white bias answer. White people here can do anything about whatever they want to do anything about. White people can do anything about whatever they want to do anything about. White people can do anything about what they want to do anything about. White people can do anything about what they want to do anything about. Okay? I'm going to say it enough till you get it in your head, in your gullible, naive, one-track minded head. Telling you they can't do nothing about it. They did it. They do stuff about everything else. If it was black people gang stalking by the hordes, nothing but black people. I'm talking about nothing but black people. If they was doing that, they would have been got rid of that. White boys doing it. Oh, we can't do nothing about it. It's bad. Yeah, just like Ku Klux Klans riding around at night riders. That was bad too, wasn't it? Huh? It ain't no different, bro. It ain't no different. So all I'm telling you is ludicrous for them to tell you they can't do nothing about something. When it comes to people, they can freeze accounts, they can freeze monies, they can catch them doing other things like they've caught African Americans with organizations doing other things, just something to get them off the streets. But they're not looking for them to do anything. They're not looking for other things, are they? That's what I'm trying to show you. They could have, I'm pretty sure these gang stalkers doing something else illegal. Don't you think so? They should have been able to catch them by now with something else they doing. They ain't caught them, have they? Because it's a white privilege. That's what it is. That's what I know I'm right. And I don't care how many black faces they got in it, and Hispanic or Latino, I don't care how many kind of other people they got in it. It is a white privilege. Can't we agree on that in America? That's what it is. Oh, it's black privilege here? Black people started gang stalking. Hey, Mexicans started gang stalking. Puerto Ricans started gang stalking. Okay, so who started it? White people did. Okay then. Okay, so obviously if white people started something, being they run this country, then they're going to have a biased perspective. You see where I'm going with this? You see how this goes in with my message? Because what we see from the white community is when, with this bias, when an ethnicity is biased, anything goes, gang stalking all throughout the community. Now you see what I'm saying? So just imagine if black people got in power. You think they're gonna lay the hammer down on all this black killing out here? Or it's gonna get worse? More apocalyptic like? Is it gonna get better or more apocalyptic like? Where you in section 9, section 12, shootings all everywhere. Section 9, section 12 has another shooting. That kind of stuff. So that means black people and white people are not able to rule. No tribe here, let's put it like this. No tribe can dominate the American system right now. No tribe, no. No tribe is fit to do it. No tribe, no. The reason why Hispanics and Latinos are not fit to do it, in my opinion, because they have not passed the test of being involved in other people's issues. You have not been involved in black people's issues, and you have not been involved in these politics. So how will we expect you to get on top of the country, but not be involved, and expect you to be involved in our issues like you have not been involved in our issues? That's why you can't rule. Because you failed the test of being involved in issues that don't belong to you. Well, to be a leader, you got to deal with stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. You got to be able to address issues that have nothing to do with you. You have not passed that test. You sit back and let black people and white people do what they do, and you kind of remain neutral about the whole situation. That's not good leadership. That's not good leadership. You don't need people being silent on stuff and minding their business. It's cute. It's what humans are supposed to do. But in our society, collectively speaking, we don't need an ethnicity that think they're going to rise to the top, but do not address our issues in the black and white community. Now, not when you get on top, now. And you're not doing that. If you address issues with black and white people, we would see you. You're too deep for us not to see you. You got too many people. So if you was present, we would see you. You're not present with all these issues and these protests and all these things going on. Okay, and you're not really into politics. So why would we feel that you would be really deeply involved with our issues, as far as black people and white people? or that you would really have genuine concern when you don't have genuine concern right now. That's the real thing I want to say. You don't have genuine concern right now, so why would you have genuine concern later? That's what I'm trying to say. So you're another group of people that's not fit the rule. And on that note, most other races that I did not mention, whether it be Asians, whether it be the Indians from India, all those other races and all the other races, ethnicities, right? They all stay in their corner and do not address the black and white issues. So how could they rule? Same thing with Jamaicans. Jamaicans don't pull up when black people have problems. Not really. Not really. We don't really see you pull up. You do not pull up, bro. Not as a community. When you see a black killing at the hands of a cop, we do not see a Jamaican presence come out in protest. Of course there's Jamaican people there. That's obvious. I'm talking about a Jamaican presence. I'm talking about a Hispanic and Latino presence. I'm talking about an Indian presence. I'm talking about an Asian presence. We don't see an Asian presence out there, do we? So how could they rule? Now you see what I'm saying. How could they rule? Because they're not genuinely concerned. It's the test that no one passed. It's the test that no one passed here in America. No one's genuinely concerned about this war between black and white people. No one has showed genuine concern. So then how, this being one of the biggest issues, how are they going to come and rule on top of that? With no concern about it. No concern about it, but it's going to rule on top of it. Doesn't make sense, man. Come on now. And that's all I'm saying. See, I make sense if you listen. So see what has to happen? What has to happen is everyone has to come together collectively and rule with leadership that is qualified. But far as a whole tribe cannot lead. It's already failed. No tribe has passed the test. No tribe. And it's too late now. No tribe has passed the test. There's no tribe that you can look at and say, well, they really have addressed all issues. They've addressed black on black. We want to see how you feel about black on black crime. We want to hear you address it. Okay, you supposed to be our leaders, then let's hear the Mexicans talk about black on black crime. So why would I let you rule over me now? Why would I let a Mexican president rule over me when he is not able to address black on black crime? Yeah, I ain't putting nobody in there that don't address that. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how nice he or she is. If you cannot address black on black crime, I don't want you in there. Asians, same thing. Asians ain't talking about it. So why would I put an Asian president in there that cannot address black on black crime? Look at the guy that ran for the White House, the Asian guy, right? Y'all remember him? Everybody remember that guy. He's gone now, right? Don't see him no more, do you? Now, he promised like these checks and all of this stuff, and and it sounds good. We should get a certain amount of money, and I've come to that conclusion that that's what should be given out to the community too, a certain lump sum amount of money, But you didn't hear him say anything on black crime. And I know that, most politicians might feel, oh, well, it's it's too sensitive of a subject. Hey, people being killed is sensitive of a subject, isn't it? Black children being killed is a sensitive subject, isn't it? So we're already in sensitive grounds. We're already on sensitive grounds. Okay? That's already the situation. Sensitivity is the situation already. Okay? And that's how you have to get all these individuals that make you feel self-conscious about talking about these issues. You have to get them off your back. Okay? If it's you that's doing it, then what am I supposed to do? Not talk about it because you black? Come on, man. That day is gone, man. It's too much killing going on, and they don't love each other like they used to. So why are you worried about racism and they don't even love each other? Now, I know that sounds hardcore, but it's true. Okay, so you love each other, but you're killing each other. Make it make sense, bro. That's all I'm saying. You have love. Collectively, who does? Collectively speaking. Okay, you can't say collectively speaking, can you? Okay, it's some here, some there, some around everywhere, but not collectively, right? Okay. And that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you and what you feel, and all this and that and the third. Nah, I'm talking about collectively. When we look on the news, we see these reckless shootings and killings all the time, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. And enough is enough. It's time to stop playing these fantasy games where we think black people gonna rule and we see killings every week all over the news everywhere, and you can pretty much be assured in every great metropolis black people are killing each other every week, right or wrong. I'm sure Atlanta has one killing a week. I'm sure Chicago has one killing a week. I'm sure all Cincinnati and Tampa and Miami and Los Angeles and Tacoma, maybe not Tacoma, but Dallas and all these other established cities has killings every week, bro. Every week. So what's the difference between that going on and a police killing one single black person, right? Now you see what I'm going with this. You got one isolated black killing that you hoop and holler over like hoes at a pimp funeral. You a holler over that. And I ain't calling nobody a hoe or nobody a pimp. I'm just making an analogy. How you got hoes and hoes be crying over a pimp funeral. All dramatic and everything. That's the point is the dramatic nature of the situation. Well, you're crying like hoes at a pimp funeral, right? But then when you got ghetto shootings that happen once a week, all the time, that's at least one person, right? Just like there's one person that's being shot by a cop. It's one person over there, and it's one person over here. How come you ain't hollering over there? With the shooting from the ghetto, how come you ain't hollering over there? Because you're being biased. You're being biased and you're not fit the rule. Being biased, there is no leaders and kings and queens. It's all an illusion. Real kings and queens can't be biased even towards their own people. The problem is you've been so used to protecting your own people that now you can't say nothing. You've been so used to protecting your own people that now when it's time to say what you got to say, you can't say nothing because you've been in protection mode too long. But if you had a ruler that was in Africa, right? Let's just take it to the motherland. Literally. If you was in Africa and you was a ruler over people, can you be biased towards the crime in your country? No. Doesn't matter if they black. Of course they're black. What other color would they be? What other color would they be? We're in Africa. What other color would they be? And I still have to beat them and beat them to submission. Now you see what I'm saying. When you come out of America, you can clearly see everything. If you was in Africa and you had a country, you just gonna let crime go around because everybody African. Now you see what I'm saying. But that's how you would be. Because you already biased. How you gonna switch up that quick like that? You ain't gonna switch up that quick like that. You gonna prosecute the things just to keep your nose clean, and it's still gonna be crazy stuff going on. You're going to prosecute just enough to keep your nose clean. Just so it don't look like it's running over in chaos. We can't have that. You got to bring proper correction and thorough correction. You're just going to do enough to keep your nose clean. Now, if you go to Africa and you have somebody rule over the people, they are not looking at no ethnicity. They're looking at right and wrong, good and bad. The Africans here in America do not do that. You are biased. When somebody gets killed, you say nothing. Let the police do it. Oh, everybody's crying and hooping and hollering all around. All dramatic. Right? Protesting and everything. It happens every day in the hood, bro. And somewhere in the hood every single day. Somebody in some hood across the country, somebody got popped, somebody got bugged down. That's a fact. Somebody got bugged down somewhere. Huh? And so in one ghetto, you telling me on a Friday night, some ghetto across the country, nobody ain't get shot. Come on, man. And that's one person. The same amount of person that it is that you be crying about and having a national protest about. You have a national protest about one person. When one person done died here on a Friday night somewhere in the hood, somewhere in America. You ain't gonna cry over that person, so what's the difference? That's what I'm trying to get you to see. What's the difference? It's a black life. What's the difference? That's what I'm trying to show you. And you say you value it, but you don't talk about it though. You say you value black lives, but you don't talk about this like I'm talking about it. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't think God see that? You don't think God see that? You saying you're not racist, but you don't talk about black on black crimes and preserving your people. That's what I'm saying. Then I'm the one that's doing it. Because see, the balance is I talk about it all. And you just stuck on the stuff that seemed like I didn't like you. That's what you stuck on. But meanwhile, you ain't doing nothing. Meanwhile, you ain't saying nothing about this. And you just sitting back waiting for somebody to do you wrong and say something wrong to you, and y'all doing wrong, and you just waiting for somebody to point it out. Basically, you just waiting for somebody to point it out. I have no fear, bro. I have no fear. I've been around killers. Listen, I've been around killers. That's the first thing you need to understand. Okay? That's the first thing you need to understand. I've been around killers. That's why I don't bite my tongue. I don't have to. I don't have to. You do, because you scared. I don't have to. I don't have to bite my tongue. Especially when I'm right. Hey, listen, how I feel is people need to get tough skin. They need to get tough skin. That's what they need to do. You need to get tough skin. Everybody say they got tough skin, say they tough. See, tough is not only applied to going to war and fighting people and shooting guns. Tough is when you can take the truth. Tough is when you can take what need to be said to you and you still standing. And you have the disciplines to react properly. That's tough. See how you know I'm tough? Look at all these unsaid about me. Hey, yeah, I'm tough. And not just for violence and not just for fighting people. I've proven that right here in New York. I can fight. For people that don't know, I can. I've already proven that. I don't need to prove it again. I proved that back in 2021. A grown man put his hands on me and I swept him off his feet. Now that was out in Far Rockaway, out there in Far Rockaway by the beach. Right there by the beach. I was right there by the train tracks where the beach at. And I was walking the guy to the subway late at night. And I guess he thought me and my friend was going to rob him. So he stole off on the weakest link. He thought I was the weakest link because my friend was about 6'3". So he stole off on me, hit me in my stomach, and I just wailed on him and just knocked him off his feet. I proved I could fight right here in New York. That's why they had to try to counter it. They know it. I've already proven I could fight. I don't need to prove it again. Okay? When you win a fight, you win a fight. You don't have to prove it again. That's how I see it. But I proved to be tough by being able to say what needs to be said and listen, weathering all the stuff that's been said about me. I weathered all of that. I weathered all of that. And they can't take the truth, can they? But y'all call that tough. I don't. I don't call that tough. When you tough, you're tough in more than one dimension. You're tough in more than one dimension. You're not just tough to just fight somebody. You're not. Come on, that's elementary. You can't take the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You're not fit to rule when you got all this black on black killing and ain't nobody properly chastising you. All your leaders are just taking money from you. They ain't chastising you. Ain't nobody chastising you. They're not chastising you, so you're not fit to rule. Hey, it's not my fault. I can feel sorry for you, but you're still not fit to rule. Feeling sorry for you is not going to make it better. In fact, it'll make it worse, because then you ain't going to say what you need to say. If you really want somebody to feel sorry for you, it starts with love. Love is what makes people feel sorry for you. If you love each other and you're in poverty and you're dealing with problems, that's what makes people feel sorry for you. Is you first love each other. When you hating each other, killing each other, nobody will feel sorry for that. Come on, man. How long can somebody feel sorry for it? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want people under the illusion that, because see, here's the punchline. Now that you see where I'm at in my position, which this is where God has put me and placed me, you have no idea the wars that I've been through, right? Some of you know half of it, but you don't know all of it. Okay? You think that means we're going to rule, but you're not fit to, because you're not properly chastising like I am. You see the difference between you and I? I'm properly chastising. You just have love for people that you're not correcting. So you see who's fit to lead and who's not? Okay, love for somebody, love for people, right? Love for black people versus someone who's able to correct and rule, correct and chastise people. Who you gonna choose? Somebody who loves people and just love them and just love them and just love on them, but not correcting them and being biased. You gonna go with that? Or somebody that you can read between the lines with and see that he's being 100. I'm being 100. I showed you what white people are doing. I showed you what the Hispanics are doing. I showed you what everybody's doing. I've showed you the full situation. I've showed you. But you wanna think that it's somebody of love per se that ain't telling you about yourself and just love on you and stroke your ego. That's who you want to go with. And that person right there is going to keep you as a community in your same foolishness. You ain't going to move. You are not going to progress. And a real king or queen will make you progress. You don't supposed to really like the king. I don't really think so. I think this is what we think we supposed to be like. But do you really supposed to like the king or queen per se? Is that the requirement? Is that really a community requirement? Well, nobody really liked Donald Trump per se. Did they really? But they put him in the White House. Nobody didn't really like him, did they? People halfway still don't like him. But you know why he's going strong? Because he's talking about these things. He's talking about these issues and things that's going on in your community in a certain way that appeals. I'm not saying it's right. He talks about certain things. He lies. He shucks and jives. But my point is, whether he's right about those things or not, is he a nice person? Is people looking for him to be a nice guy? See, in the black community, we look for people to be a nice guy. He's got to be family oriented. He's got to be a nice guy. You waiting for somebody to love you when you don't love yourself halfway. Nah, you need to hear it just like that, man. Because see, I'm looking at collectively. You can be the greatest lover of black people, but I don't know you, do I? You know what I know? I know the collective community. I don't know you personally. You don't know me personally. All I go by is the collective community. and it is full of destruction and death. That's what it's full of. And the culture is feeding appeal to the community of deaths of black people through the music and the movies. That appeals to see your own people die. It appeals to you to hear this in the music. Talking about killing nobody but black people. It ain't talking about killing no white people or anybody else. It's talking about only killing black people. You don't think that's hidden white supremacy to be pushed through your culture? Well, them songs ain't talking about nobody but black people. They ain't talking about anybody can get it. They talking about black people. I'm telling you, anybody can get it. That's what I'm saying. So see, soon as somebody jump up that's black, you think it's a black effort, but you ain't show proper respect either. When it comes to me, you ain't show proper respect. Come on, man, you ain't show no proper respect. You treated me like I was a little nigga. And you know the term, white people might not know what I mean when I say that. Black people, you know what I mean. They treated me like I'm a little nigga. Like I'm a little peewee. That's how you treated me. Now you see, I got alliance with Russia. I support Russia. When I say alliance, I'm saying I have community Russian friends that I'm in allegiance with. I stand with President Putin, and I've been doing this way before the war. Okay? Way before the war. Way before that. And you still, as black people, depending on these Americans, and they're unpredictable more and more as time goes by, and as we get closer to the polls of voting, it's so unpredictable who's going to be in the White House. It's so unpredictable. You're so unpredictable. You're so unpredictable. That's how this American government is. Unpredictable. Ain't got time for that. You should know your president, how he think. You should know how these politicians think. So you need to look at things for what they are, man, not what you want them to be. I know you love your own people. That's good for you. But that's like, that to me, when it comes to a ruler, the first foundational requirement off the rip is to get the job done. That's it. Getting the job done is more important than anything. I'd rather deal with a boss that can get the job done than some happy person that's not playing a position. And that's all you getting is, man, these happy guys that come to the cookout kind of guys. But they not handling their business, man. When it comes to your needs and everything needs to get done, they not handling their business. That's what I'm saying. And they can be cool and hang out and kick out and be at the cookout and all of that. And that's enough for black people. They good then. Long as you show up at a cookout, you show up somewhere like that, you show up at a bar or something, you show up somewhere like that, some little festival, some little thing going on, boom, you in there. And that shouldn't be enough. It shouldn't be enough. You should be waiting, just like Ice Cube said, we got to stop putting these people in the White House that's not doing nothing. That's what I'm saying. You putting people in the White House that's not doing nothing. The only way it's gonna get good, it's gonna get better, man, is at first you start realizing we are at fault. Okay, we get it. We are at fault, and we gotta stop being biased. And that's the only way it's gonna change. We can't wait till the white man to change us. How he gonna change us? How he gonna change us? Huh? So the white man ain't gonna do it. Who else gonna do it? You waiting for Hispanics and Latinos to change you? So then you sitting on the bay. Sitting on the side of the bay. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's what you're doing. And you waiting for somebody to change you, and it's not going to happen. You got to change yourself. You got to get up and talk to your own community. You got to when you get the white people out your way, the racist white people, you got to still pull your people to the side and still be like, yo, we got to stop all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Get them off from saying something. But then when you settle down among each other, you still got to be like, yo, now we know we don't really like them talking about it, but we got to talk about it. We don't like them saying something because really they don't really know what's going on, and they was part of the problem, and they was part of the reason why certain things happened the way they did. So we don't want them. We can't tolerate that, but we do have to begin to tolerate ourselves having a dialogue about these real issues, because it's nothing gonna get done about it. It's nothing gonna get done about it. All you're gonna have is a cancel committee that's sitting up canceling everybody, you know what I'm saying, that say something about black people, but you ain't making really black people better yourself though. No, you just by waiting for somebody to say something. What are you proactive about? Black Lives Matter is not proactive. What they proactive about? Can you call it? You don't know, do you? Okay. They're proactive about pulling up as opportunists when you got a protest already, nationwide protest going on. Okay, and then you got good-hearted people in that, of course. But I'm talking about the leadership. The leadership is not directing the Black Lives Matter into the hood. They're not directing them into the hood. Yes, that's right. That's what Black Lives are, and that's what the people need to hear it at. Where all the killing is going on, that's what Black Lives Matter should have been. But see, the leadership wasn't tough enough to go down there. The leadership, I guess, didn't want to put people in harm's way. You got to have soldiers. You can't be using that brand talking about Black Lives Matter, collecting money, but you ain't on the front lines where the Black lives are. It doesn't work like that. That comes with it, man. You got to be willing to die for it, man. You can't be talking about Black Lives Matter and then you ain't going in the hood. You can't, and then but you collecting money, millions of dollars. You should be willing to put yourself out there then. I mean, you getting money? Shoot, you got to go ahead and put yourself out there. You got to get on the battlefield. When you start getting thousands of dollars, you got to put yourself on the battlefield. I don't see how you can do it. I don't see how you can get millions of dollars and not be out there. I don't see how you do it. I would have to. I would have to show up somewhere. I'm getting millions, but I ain't going to show my face. I'm not you don't see my presence. You don't see the presence of Black Lives Matter in the hood. Man, somebody probably cursed that. You got white witches, white warlocks, they probably cursed that, bro. Because how is it that could be that something so perfect, the perfect term, just how the situation just turned out, man. Like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? That could have been all out in the hood. That could have been everywhere. That could have been everywhere, man. That could have been everywhere, man. Now that potential is gone, man. Now they talking about the leaders, the parents of victims have been complaining about the parents, right? Have been complaining about their children being utilized and used, for financial gain. So now they got some tarnish on their name now. Now I don't know how real that was, but I don't think no mourning parents are going to make up some stories. You know what I mean? So it's got to be some truth to it, and it's just crazy, man. That's just like, so that basically, as far as credibility for many people, man, that's the end of that. You can't be out here, utilizing people's deaths for like gain, bro. I mean, come on, man. But yet they ain't going down in the hood. That's what I'm saying. You can't have a name like Black Lives Matter. You ain't down in the ghetto where the kids at and all of that at. You got to go down there. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I'm saying, man. You got to have an understanding of what it takes to rule. Okay, I know it's glamorous. King life can be glamorous. Queen life can be glamorous. But when you also have work. Just like anybody know anything else, you got work. You got work to do. You got work to do. I got so much work to do. Work. You got work to do, man. And you can't be half stepping when it comes to the work. Taking all the glamorous part of it, all the glitz part of it, but not having a passion and not keeping the passion. You got to keep the passion. You got to keep going hard, man. And some people don't. They get in a little bit. Black Lives Matter probably started out good. Then, you get enough fame, then now you chilling. You coasting. You coasting now. Because you got enough fame, you know what I'm saying? You got a name out there, everything like that. But then now you're coasting though. Now you ain't took it to the next phase. The next phase should have been the hood. You got your name out there, you pulled up when these things happen in protests and everything, you got your name out there. Now the next phase is pull up in the hood. Boom, out. Now everybody's seeing you out there in the hood. But you didn't do that though. What you did was you just kept surfing these random killings around, being mysterious and stuff. And training people to do. I'm sure it's Black Lives Matters in the hood, but that's the people. I'm talking about the leadership. Take hordes of people down there and set up like events and stuff. I'm sure that's been done to a certain degree, but we have not seen it though. We have not seen it nationwide. I'm sure there's been some type of event that Black Lives Matter have had in some type of part of the ghetto somewhere, right? Yeah, I'm not simple-minded. It's somewhere, some hood, they did something, right? Somewhere, right? But it's not everywhere. It's not all in the all where everybody can say, okay, Black Lives Matter is gonna be here. They're gonna be in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna kill them. What they scared of? Is somebody gonna kill them? I guess that's what it is, ain't it? You can't have capitalize off Black lives and you're scared of it. You can't capitalize off of Black lives and be scared of the hood. That's what I'm saying. How you gonna talk about Black Lives Matter but you scared of the hood? You can't be that way. You can't. And that's what I'm saying, man. So, like, the disappointing thing is that everybody want to sit back and act like things just supposed to just fall together, man. It don't work like that. How it works is people have to put in the work and they have to be honest. Like me, I'm the perfect kind of boss man because your boss man, you ain't gonna always like. If you're working at a job, you ain't gonna always like your boss man. You ain't gonna always like how he is. But that's why he's the leader. Because he's the one that gets the job done. You want to be cool with everybody. That's why you can't be the boss man. The boss man does not care about being cool. If you got a good boss man, the boss man probably told you that himself at one of your jobs. I don't care about being cool. You don't got to think I'm cool. All you have to do is understand that I'm right and that my way of doing things is going to make it easy for you and easy for me. That's why I'm in my position. Because I'm sure I can get the correction done that needs to be done. I can say what needs to be said, and I'm not scared. I don't care if you reject me. If you want your position, you're going to follow through. If you want your position here, then you're going to follow through. Now, if you don't like it, then hey, you listen. I'm doing this by myself anyway. And God is with me, backing me already. Who did I need? Huh? Now, if you want to play your position and realize, listen, okay, this dude is right. Okay. And now you got to get past all this stuff that you heard, all these half-truths and whole lies situation, all these things that you halfway heard and all of this stuff. Just straight up fables in some cases. You got to get past all of that. Okay, now this is the person. Okay, boom. Okay, now being the boss man, you shouldn't expect me to get along. You shouldn't expect me to try to be cool because guess what? That means I could be manipulated by somebody. A good boss man should not be able to be manipulated. You can't manipulate me. I listen. You can't manipulate me with women or none of that. If you got a good boss man on the job, he can't be manipulated by some cute girl, the cutest girl on the job. She got it easy and everybody else got to work. The cute girl get the kick back and she back in his office. You know what they doing. They done slipped off. You don't think a job is like that? You ain't live long enough. Now the cute girl is getting extra breaks. Now she done moved up in a position where she's with him. She's the assistant manager now. She's assisting the manager. Assisting him to an orgasm. She's assisting him with an orgasm. That's what she's doing. She's assisting him with an orgasm. She's the assistant manager. And see, you don't need nobody like that. You don't need nobody that is able to be manipulated by women, men, or even children. You got a whole bunch of children in a manager position, and you work a certain place at your job, and the manager is sitting there watching the kids tear up the whole store. Like, Dave, why you ain't say nothing, Dave? You sit there and let the customers' kids tear up the stuff. Why you ain't say nothing? That's the manager. Oh, well, it was the kids. And I have to clean this up, not you. Well, it was the kids. Do you care? A good manager doesn't care about none of that. Man, woman, or child, man. That's what makes, some people, this is where we separate the men from the boys and the girls from the women. See, some of y'all get soft when it comes to kids. Now, if you're running a department store and you got kids running all around like hellions, tearing up everything, what you gonna say? Oh, the kids. Let them do what they must do. Let them do what they must do. Are you going to be a real man or a real woman and say, hey, y'all need to get y'all kids, man? Word is bond. As the manager, you could talk like that at the department store. Word is bond. Y'all need to get y'all kids, man. Word is bond, man. That's real. And then you sitting up here complaining about when somebody abduct them. I say that too. Talking about, what are you talking about? Hey, when y'all the ones, y'all be sitting around talking about somebody abducting kids, your kids running all around the store. Yeah, tearing up the store. Anybody could have did anything to them. And then they gonna come running back to you when somebody put a finger in their butthole. Now you getting them to the car and taking them to the hospital. Hey, all the time, stuff happen in these department stores. I'm just telling you the facts of what happened. People let their kids run all around these department stores. You see it all the time. Running all around. Like, what the parents at? And then be the main ones talking about somebody messing with their kids or messing with kids and stuff. A real manager is able to even see that part of it. Ma'am, you shouldn't have your kids unsupervised in no store like this. I mean, it's too many people in here. Men, women, crazy people. I don't control who's in this store. I just work here and manage the store. I don't control who's in this store. Because what you going to do, complain to me? First thing, if you lose your children or your children get abducted or somebody do something to your children physically, the first thing you're going to do is come trying to see me like I done got your kids. Well, maybe you can help. How am I help? How am I going to help you with your kids, right? In this big department store? Huh? How am I going to help you? The best thing you can do now is call the police so we can start getting the ball rolling as far as this surveillance of the situation. That's the best thing we can start doing right now. How am I going to help you? And this is the society we live in, man. And so a good manager would tell people before that happens, look, you got all these kids running around here and all these people in here. I don't control who walks in that door. You got perverts, you got all kind of people that walk in that door. I don't know. I can't judge and say, well, this person looks like a pervert. Let me watch this person. I can't do that. I lose my job for doing something like that. I can't do that. That's what a good manager would do. So I'm just showing you the difference between workers and boss men. It's an attitude that, look, no one can really, sit up here and be biased about situations. Now you see how it is. When you look at this leadership as a boss man position, I can't be biased towards the foolishness that's going on. Okay? All this foolishness that's going on, but you want you want the job to get done. You want it to look good for all of us, but you're not playing your position. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying what you need to say. This is what a boss man tell you. You're not doing what you need to do. You're not saying what you need to say. And you sitting up running around and everything. But you expect me to do it all. You expect me to do it all though. Okay. It ain't going to work like that. You're not going to be employed here because you're not playing your position and you want me to play me in your position. You want me to be nice to you and let you do what you want to do. And you're here on the clock and you're here working. You want me, you want me to be so cool with you. And the only way I'm going to be cool with you in all actuality is that you do your position. You play your position. Now I want to know you personally. But until you play your position, I don't want to know you personally. I don't want to know who you are. I don't care who you are. And that goes for people in the community. I don't care who you are. I don't want to know you if you're not playing your position. That's the same thing what a boss man would tell you at the job. He don't want to know you till you do good. Now he want, hey, how you doing, man? He said you do a good job. Hey, okay, you want to go out to eat? Let's hang out. Now he want to hang out with you. I got the respect of my boss man like that. Now I'm shooting basketball with one of my boss men. That's what I used to do. Me and him played basketball together, hung out together. But if I wasn't working, if I didn't get my work on, he don't want to know me personally. It disgusts him to be around me personally. The person that ain't working. Why do you want to be around me for? Okay, that's the same thing, man. You got these situations in the hood and all of this and everybody want to be known. You want to be known by a man like me. But see, in actuality, why should I want to know you if you're not playing your position? Okay, you ain't saying what need to be said. You ain't talking about these. First of all, my campaign is my work. You ain't talking about this 43 states of child marriage. You ain't talking about that. So how you with me? You know what I'm saying? You ain't telling black people what they need to know about this killing and all of that. You ain't being 100 about that. So why would I want to know you? That's what I'm saying. Just because you black, right? I'm supposed to want to know you. We passed that stage in the community in the world. Okay? We've been familiar with each other long enough to where, okay, you know who I am, I know who you are. Okay? At face value. Because we got to stop being that, because it gets to be fake to where it's not really real. This is a different place and time. This time around, it can't be done biased. You can't do it biased, man. You had to protect in the beginning because of all the racism. Now you got to refresh yourself and say, okay, I ain't got to do all that protecting stuff as I once did. Or we ain't gotta have that protecting mentality like we once did over each other and over each other's rights. It still exists, but the real problem is more so the killing. Now we gotta go on the chastisement level and mode of thinking. Now we gotta chastise our own people. That's where you at, and you can't rule until then. That's what I'm trying to show you. How can you? Because if you take that mentality everywhere, let's just say we all come out the hood, then What happens after that? All the killing is going to go over there. You get a nice neighborhood, put black people in it, and they still got the urge to do stuff, to do killing and all of that. It's going to happen right over there. Because egos are going to clash at the 7-Elevens, at the neighborhoods and all of that. It's going to clash all over there, and it's still going to be the same situation. It's going to be the same situation. And you already know the cliche that we all know. You can take people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the people. Now you're supposed to have some hood where you get some you get discretion, you get wisdom, you get street wisdom, right? You can keep that part where you understand what is what. You understand when somebody's doing you wrong or something like that. You keep that part, but you don't keep the ratchet and ignorant part that you grow out of. You grow out of that. When you was a teenager in the hood, you know, you did what you did, you act like the way you act. You get grown, you turn 30, you get in your 40s. Now it's time to get out of all of that. But that's not the case many times. You know, you got some people that's in their 50s and they out here in other suburban neighborhoods still gangster. Like, you should, like, man, sometimes people don't want to evolve, man. That's what it is. A lot of times people don't want to evolve because you feel like you would die if you ain't a thug no more, won't you? You feel like you would die if you ain't a thug no more. Tell the truth. Everybody felt like that. You feel like you would die if you ain't a thug no more. But then you come to a point where you grow up and it's like, okay, I still do what I got to do, but my ego, my character and how I feel about myself is not locked into that like it used to be. Now I'm a man. I'm just a man. You know what I'm saying? I handle my business. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, I will handle my business. You know, but I don't have to walk around as a street dude anymore. And some people just can't let it go. That's the thing. Some people just can't let it go, bro. And that's why we ain't gonna never get it done, because they still out here with the youngins, still want to be where they at and do what they doing, and they can't bring any chastisement because they part of it. They part of it, man. So that's why it's nothing getting done. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what I'm doing is I put out olive branches. So people, and I put out the identity of who I really am. So people can see who I really am. I'm not going to let somebody see me as some weirdo, perverted, racist person. That's the picture they're trying to paint. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm stupid, like I don't know no better. I can see insinuations. You know what I'm saying? A person like me, I can see insinuations. You ain't got to tell me what's on your mind. All you got to do is be stupid enough to throw out insinuations. And when you throw out the insinuations, I already know what's on your mind. I already know what's on your mind because you're throwing out insinuations. And as long as you throw out them insinuations, I'm going to know all I need to know. I'm going to know all I need to know as long as you throw out insinuations. And some people stupid. I don't throw out no insinuations. Only insinuation I throw out is I handle my business. Yeah, I want people to know that. I want people to know that. That's the only insinuation I throw out. And that's an in general insinuation that I want everybody to know. Yeah. There is no discrimination with that. You don't get this far being a guy like me walking around soft, playing with people that's playing games. The only way you're going to get respect in America is if you walk around like a fire. That's the only way, man. You walk around soft, people would devour you, man. They don't care. They don't care if you're a nice person. They'll eat you alive as a nice guy. And you'll be a sweet piece of cake. Boy, I hate to do it, but this is a sweet piece of cake. That's what they be talking about. Boy, I hate to do it, but this is a sweet piece of cake. And see, they tried to do that with me, but I poisoned them. Ow, that's 7. Oh, whoa. Yeah, you tried to eat me and I poisoned you. Mm-hmm. You thought I was sweet. Yeah, it's sweet going down. You got the runs and throwing up later. I'm not poison, but I can be. Let's put it like that. I can be, and that's where the deception comes in. For themselves, not for me. I ain't. You deceiving yourself, because I'm sweet. I can be sweet, but I can be deadly, as you can see. Just like a lion. A lion is beautiful, but it is not shameful of its furious killing ways. In fact, some people consider that just as beautiful as its majestic mane and all of that it is. Just as much of it is as a killer, it's just as beautiful as it is as that is just beautiful as it is as a killer. People watch the hunt and watch how they hunt and everything, and they find that to be beautiful as well. But it's just time for white people to understand, man. Like, look, man, like, bruh, God is right. God is smart. God is intelligent. You shouldn't have played with us, man. You shouldn't have came down here in the jungle. You should have told them gang stalkers not to come down here in the jungle playing with lions, man. That's where they went wrong, man. And I don't make no apologies for that. I don't make no apologies for it because they shouldn't have came down here. What you should have did is stop sitting back like some cool patrolling cop on the college campus. They want to be cool with the hot 20-year-old girls. You know what type I'm talking about. That's how these cops ride around. Like, you want to be cool with the girls on the campus. Hoping you get you a 20-year-old something. You that type of cop. That represents your authorities in America. You that type of cop, got the hat down low over your eyes. Yeah. I hang out over there at the coffee shop over there. You can come over there and get a cup of coffee with me. Showing yourself you still got it. You the type to try to see if you still got it. Instead of doing that, man, you should have told these losers, man, to stop playing with a lion, bro. But since you one of those guys that like to try to see if you still got it, you sit back and thought it was cool to halfway enjoy the show. I mean, I know some of you was like that. And you thought it would be kind of cool to sit back and enjoy the show because, you want to be cool with the young crowd. Because I know some of these people that was doing that is in their 20s and 30s. And you got this young blood out here dead. Playing out here with fire, man. Because I don't discriminate in war. I don't care. I don't believe in hell's bells. I don't believe in that song as my motto. Or I don't agree with that group. But one thing is true. You might be young, but you're gonna die. You might be young, but you're gonna die. And that's just how it is. It's the same thing for the kingdom of God. You might be young, but you're gonna die. And that's just how it is. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay? Life is not full of games, and you shouldn't have played. You listen. Some people died 15 years old, 16, 17 years old. At least you made it to your 30s. In your 20s, at least you enjoyed your teenage years. Because you shouldn't have played this game, buddy. And nobody cares if you're young. I don't care if you're cute and young in your 20s and 30s. Oh, well, so well. You shouldn't have played over here, buddy. Yeah, you ain't bad to nobody. Now you see what a prophet is outside of your little dumb culture. Yeah, it ain't no games being played, big baby. I'm playing no games. See the difference between me and the other Christians is I have a background, a street background. I have enough where I got my feet wet. I've been around killers. I've shot guns. I sold crack cocaine. You're not gonna play with me, man. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna do it. Look, I don't know about you. I know about me. That's what I'm saying. And that's real everywhere I go. That's real everywhere I go. I've been robbed 2 times in my life. One time by gunpoint with a gun in my face, I've been robbed. And I've been robbed one time with a blade to my neck. That's twice I've been robbed. And I was a kid. I was a child and I got robbed by gunpoint and by a blade to my neck with somebody behind me saying, give it up if you don't want to die. Give it up if you don't want to die. Okay? I've been through real stuff, man. While you in the cartoon world, that's why I don't play no games, man. Once you've been through some real stuff, you live like real stuff can happen. You know what I mean? You think like real stuff can happen. You move according to real stuff happening, bro. That's how I know you ain't got your cherry pop, because you act like we in a fantasy world, man. We ain't in no fantasy world, bro. Coming around here, driving around like you want smoke is costing your whole country smoke. That's how I know. Listen, man. That's how I know you a bunch of suburban people, man. Because you haven't lived in. I can tell the difference. When you live in real time, you carry yourself different. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I've lived in real time crime. I've done real time crimes before. Let's keep that in mind. I don't care about your crimes. I'm talking about my crimes. I'm talking about me shooting guns. You can't take my reputation. You can't take what I've done. I've been around killers. You can't change that. That's going to come right back to my heart and going to come right as soon as you leave from around me, thinking you better than me, who I am is always going to be right there. And that's just how it is. That's how you know somebody's real. You can't fade it. Like they say in California, you can't fade me, man. You can't fade me. As soon as you try, I'm going to still be right there, bro. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can't, that's that childhood teenager stuff. You can't fade what I am, man. I've been around real killers, and whether you like it or not, bro, I know you infatuated with it. It disgusts me. This culture and all this stuff disgusts me now. You know what I'm saying? It disgusts me that you infatuated with it. That disgusts me too. It disgusts me. Because I was just around it and it just happened naturally. That's what ghetto people tell you, hood people tell you. It just happened naturally to me. I didn't set out to sell drugs. I was around a childhood friend, like most people from the hood is. And one of us starts selling drugs. And then it happens from there. That's how it happens. Yeah, that's how it happens. And then you've been robbed. I've been robbed 2 times in my life, and I know how to shoot guns. These fingers have pulled triggers on guns. You know, and it's not something I'm proud of. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I'm proud of, but it's part of it's part of my story, and it is. And I have critiqued this perfectly to be the perfect soldier. Now I don't have all those additives of selling drugs and popping guns randomly. You know what I'm saying? I would just handle my business, you know, and fight my wars. That's what I do. That's how I've critiqued myself to where now I am the perfect soldier that I need to be. You know, so that's how I'm carrying myself these days. You know, I don't have anything to prove to anyone. They can think I'm a wankster. That, to me, being a spiritual soldier, or being a soldier of knowing the art of war, you could think that's an advantage to me. If you don't think I will harm you, and you standing in my way and playing games, you just make me get the advantage. That's the first thing pop in my head. You underestimate me. Advantage. And I'm gonna take full advantage of you not even realizing everything that I'm doing. That's how that works, man. And I'm a spiritual warrior, bro. I can show you the kingdom of God fighting against all different types of kingdoms, people, and everything. Samson killed 1,000 people. We in real wars, man. I know Christians in America don't want to accept it, but we are. You got all these gang stalkers, and I'm not playing any games with them. You heard my background. I'm not playing. I'm not playing any games with them. You know what I mean? You want to play games with them, and you want to play good for you. Maybe you're a better man. You're a better man than me. I'm not playing any games with them. Okay? And it's goofiness, man. It's goofiness to a person like me. One thing about me, I'm a hilarious person. I'm funny, but I'm not a goofy person, though.